Shalom, everyone. Glad you could join me again today. Today is going to be Isaiah chapter 3. And like I said in the first podcast, that I'm going to be doing all of the prophets all the way through the mediocre prophets. Quite a few of them. But I'm trying to get through Isaiah now. He's the largest one that there is, with 66 chapters. So, welcome to chapter 3. And these will be put out on every Sabbath. So, if you want to watch for them, it's called Truths in Scripture. That's where you can find them. And hope you enjoy this one. Isaiah chapter 3. For behold, the sovereign Yahweh of hosts does take away from Jerusalem and from Judah and the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water, the mighty men and the man of war, the judge and the prophet and the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50 and the honorable man and the counselor and the cunning antificer and the eloquent orator, which I'm not. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. Is that what they mean when you hear a kid screaming in the middle of Walmart because mommy won't get him something? No, that can't be it. Verse 5, and the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. And the child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. Two witness verses on that one. First one is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 32. Thou shalt rise up before the hoary head, and honor the face of the old man, and fear your father. I am Yahweh. In Micah chapter 7, verse 6, for the son dishonors the father, daughter rises up against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house. Verse 6, when a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under your hand. In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. Verse 8, for Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against Yahweh, to provoke the eyes of his glory. Verse 9, the show of their countenance does witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom, they hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Verse 10, say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Verse 11, woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. I wouldn't want that reward. Verse 12, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of your paths. Verse 13, hang on. Note down here at the bottom of the page. Children are their oppressors, women rule over them. When a nation forsakes Yahweh's word, as did Judah here, the natural order of society, including the family, collapses. You see that every day nowadays. Verse 16. Moreover, Yahweh says, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a twinkling with their teeth. Witness verses to that one can be found in 2 Kings chapter 9, verse 30. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tired her, which in plain English is attired her head with a scarf or something, and looked out at the window. Verse 17, therefore Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. Verse 18, in that day Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their calls, and their round tires like the moon. The chains, verse 19, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers. Verse 20, the bonnets and ornaments of their legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings. Verse 21, the rings and the nose jewels. Well, I see enough of that nowadays. Verse 22, the changeable suits of apparel and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins. Verse 23, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of a well-set hair, baldness, and instead of a stompture, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Verse 25, you men shall fall by the sword, and the mighty in the war. 26, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. There's a little note down here, has to do with what they said a little bit earlier. Round tires like the moon, crescent-shaped ornaments and worship of the moon god, stylish clothes and finery will be lost in the day of judgment. Day of judgment, everybody will be dressed in pure white linen. And that concludes the reading of Isaiah chapter 3. I'll read you the chapter and the verse so you can go back and check it. If you're lucky enough that your scriptures has notes at the bottom, they explain things a little better. So enjoy the rest of your day or week, and hope to see you next week. Yahweh be blessed. Bless you. Shalom.